Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Yiguandao Lantern Festival area. Today, we need to thank the Heavenly Grace of the Heavenly Mother and all the virtues of the Holy Teachers, so that we can have the chance and opportunity to receive Tao and to cultivate Tao all together. Today, we are very fortunate to receive Tao. Do you know why the Jesus Christ came to alive again in 3 days? What is the meaning of the 3 days? You know what's the three meaning of 3 days? The 3 days doesn't mean that the 3 days that we know in the normal daily life. Really, there are more meaning that the Heavenly Mother wants to transmit the Tao in the meaning of 3 days. We call it the 三阳. Today, Hou Xue will be very glad to introduce you the meaning of 3 days, the Qingyang, Hongyang, and the Baiyang eras of the Tao transmission. The 3 days, or we call the three Yang eras. The first Yang is the Qingyang era. From the very beginning of Tao descending to the human life, the Heavenly Mother, our Heavenly Mother, descend down to human beings from the Fuxi patriarchs. The first patriarch of the Tao transmitting in the human world is Fuxi patriarch. From the Fuxi patriarch, the Tao transmission was descended on the king and officers. Though those of them, they have very good virtues and merits, so they transmit from one patriarch to one patriarch, but only by one person to one person. Only kings and officers, they have very good virtues and merits, can have the opportunity to be transmitted with the Tao. That was the Tao transmission in the Qingyang era. That means the first day. And then we come to the second day, the Hongyang era. In the Hongyang era, there was from the Zhou dynasty till the Qing dynasty. The Tao transmitting in the second day, that means in the Hongyang era, the Tao was transmitted in the scholars. So we see here on the wall, the Hongyang era, from the Zhou dynasty to the second centuries, that's the second day, that means the Hongyang era. In this era, the Gautama Buddha was responsible to the heavenly affairs, and the Tao was transmitted to all the scholars. Only the people, the scholars and officers, who, if they have good virtues, they can have the affinity to cultivate the Tao and to transmit the Tao. But after all, they still need to cultivate first. And then, if they had affinity, then the Heavenly Mother will assign a responsible person to transmit the Tao to the scholars and the officers. And besides, all the cultivators, they need to go to the deep mountains. They need to cultivate their virtues and collect enough merits first, and then they can have the affinity to receive the Tao, and then get rid of the birth and the death, reincarnation. During this period, the cultivation of Tao was very, very difficult, and it was also very uneasy, because the cultivation in the high mountain was really very hard. Thank of God, thank of the Heavenly Mother, that we were born in the Baiyang era. That is the third day, the Baiyang era. That is why Jesus Christ was reborn again at the third day. Jesus Christ said, when the third day comes, I will come to alive and save all the people. That means all the common people can have the affinity to be saved because of Tao. And that is the meaning of the third day, the White Yang era. So from the 20th centuries until now, and go to the further future days, that is the time of the Bai Yang era, and the third day. In this day, we don't need to go to the high mountain and cultivate and go through all the difficult days, and then we can receive the Tao. No, we could receive the Tao first, and then we can cultivate ourselves and collect our own merits. Tao was so precious now, because we can know that we have the same Buddha nature, just like all the Buddhas and saints before us. It's really very uneasy. Indeed, in the third day, there are many social affairs. The society was all in chaos. Many sufferings, many disasters, many natural disasters happen around the world. Why? Because it is a time, the last day. That's the last day when the God, the Heavenly Mother, will reorganize the whole world. So He sent Tao and all the disasters all together. Disasters is in the world to get rid of all the bad people, but the good people with good affinity can have the right time here to receive Tao and to be saved, to get rid of the reincarnation. Today we are so lucky, we are so fortunate. We can be born in the third day, in the last day, and in the common people's house to be able to receive the Tao. We can realize so easily that we have the same Buddha nature like the Buddhas and the saints before. Tao is here to give us hope, give us the aim of the Li Yun Da Tong. That is the utopia, the peaceful world. That's the end of the cultivation, all of us. Why we set up a so big Hali house here in the Lantern Festival Garden in 2011. It is to let all the people in the world know that Tao is here in the right time to save all the people with good affinity. So if you have not received Tao, or if you are in other countries, try to find your own affinity and come to the Hali house and to receive the Tao. Congratulations to every one of you. Thank you.
今天为我们做英文导览的是兴义南兴刘懿德刘讲师。本身呢，他也是一位真正在学校教书的老师。